Well, guys, good evening. How are you today?
Hi,
I'm
teacher.
doing great, teacher. Thank you so much for asking.
Well, I had just finished also with my previous group. I thought, okay, at least they're going to have 2 minutes to rest, I hope. Well, guys, on the first part of your session, you were talking about a lot of things, especially related to the exam and the project. Remember, just like to, let's say, repeat the information that Professor Omar already shared with you. Remember that next week, everything finishes. There is that percentage of quizzes. You know that quizzes is not only the word quiz itself, like a kind of evaluation. All the activities that we have been doing on those shared PowerPoints are going to take part on the quizzes percentage. It's very important that you check them. I have already shared with you like the link to the materials, and remember that on the material you have the link that takes you to the shared PowerPoint presentation. I don't have to tell you like, okay, this person, you are missing this and this and that. That's your own responsibility. If you have already done it, it's okay, right? But if maybe you missed, I don't know, one session, or maybe because it's so late and you are already tired, you didn't want to do one of those activities, well, you still have some time to catch up, because remember that next week we're going to finish our cycle 1. And the idea is that, well, first of all of you pass, all of you learn, which at the end is like the most important part. And it wouldn't be nice, you know, to have like a 0 over there. So guys, I would like to know if you have any question.
Yes, I have a question, teacher.
Yes, Jennifer,
If
tell
I
me.
started the program on 30 November,
30th?
yes, I have to do the activities from the days that when, for example, from Monday.
That Monday and that
Or-
Tuesday, right?
Yes.
No, not really, you know, because let's say that officially your enrollment in the system started on Wednesday, so it is not fair. When we put the grades on the system, or when in our, it is like a spreadsheet that we have, it says this person started this day. So we take the grades and all the different, let's say, gradable activities from that day on. So you don't have to worry about that, but it's an important
Yes.
question, Jennifer. Absolutely. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, guys, I'm going to take attendance. Let me turn this off for a moment. Am I sharing the whole screen? No, very good. Let's see. It's something that's so annoying sometimes. Today is the 9th. Aquí estamos. Okay. Alejandra Roballo. Well, I haven't seen Alejandra this week. Let's continue. Joely Ayala.
Presente.
Okay. Ana María Velasco.
Presente.
Okay. Luisa Fernanda Pérez.
Presente.
Very good. Mayra Juliet Pinzón.
Presente.
Okay. Stephanie Córdoba.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Let's see the chat. Okay, ya casi, Susana. I haven't gotten to your name yet. There you are, Jamie Susana. Listo. Andrea Vaca.
Presente.
Okay. Harold David.
Hi, teacher, present.
Okay, good. Anderson Andrés.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrés Álvarez.
Presente.
Okay. Judy Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Daniela Fernanda.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Brian Miguel.
Hi, teacher.
Okay. Angelica Stephanie. Let's have a look at the chat. Okay. Oh my God, I forgot. I forgot. No, I wish I remember that information. Angelica. I write down, but then I have to move like 4 pages, and then I forget that I wrote that on the first page. So let's cross fingers. Jordan Alexis.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Diana Lisette.
Hi, teacher, I'm here.
Okay. Silvia Alejandra.
Present teacher.
Okay. Gilbert Cárdenas.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. John Carrero.
Teacher, here I am, like my cell phone is gonna die and I'm trying to look for my charger, but I cannot find it.
Okay. Hopefully
Yes.
you find it.
Yes, as soon as possible. So suddenly if I leave the meeting is because of that. So I want you to keep in mind that I'm trying to look
John.
it as soon as possible.
Okay, John. Let's cross fingers as well.
Thank you.
And welcome, Jennifer Jimena. Oh, the chat. What
Here.
happened in the chat? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you. I was John's letting us know the situation. Okay, guys, very good. Well, so officially the only person that is absent is Alejandra. Let's go back to the presentation. I'll share my screen a moment. Give me a second. Yes. So many clicks and things and well, guys, today we can say that we officially are finished Unit 4. Next week, as you already know, we will have review, trying to, let's say, study certain things that we really need in order to do our exam that will be happening on Tuesday. Remember that on the second part of the session, we will be having the speaking part. It is going to be with me. Just like to keep that in mind. So, based on the fact that we have to finish our Unit 4, we are going to talk about 2 different aspects as you saw. We are talking about vocabulary, in this case, talking about life events. Of course, when we talk about life events, our perspective changes based on what we want, our goals for the future. Everybody has different opinions what a life event could be. And then we will talk about the second linguistic component, language focus 2. The other day, we started with past simple and present perfect. Today, we continue with the same line. And the idea is not to confuse you. Of course, that's not the point. But like to have a look at different linguistic and grammatical structures that we can use in order to avoid using always the same, like only present simple and only past simple, and that's it. We can enrich the way we communicate our ideas by using different tenses. And that's the idea, of course, of this second language focus of our Unit 4. Guys, if you have the book, we're talking about page 40. And of course, we're going to start with the first part of vocabulary. And we already know the name of this part. It is life events. And notice that here we have a word map. There are these 4 different categories. Yes, we have love and relationships, education, home and family, and career. What you have to do in this first part is to organize this vocabulary. When I say this vocabulary, we're talking about the 3 columns that we have in here into these 4 categories. There are 2 life events that we have already used as examples. Notice we have bring up your children in the category of home and family, and graduate, that would be in the category of career. What you have to do basically, as I told you, is to put all these phrases, all these life events in the corresponding section based on what they are talking about. You have to use all of them. Probably in this case, the exercise looks a little bit strict because, for example, graduate, the idea is to use it in that category. In the case of career or bring up your children, the idea is to use it only talking about home and family. So make sure that according to the category that you use, you don't repeat it. Like change job only for career, not in education, for example, okay? But we have to use all the phrases that we have in here. Guys, do you have any question about the instruction? While I set up the timer.
Teacher, in this case, what is the difference between education and career?
Education is just like the process while you are getting, you know, I wouldn't say the information while you are getting trained. Career is actually when you actually start or when you actually become a professional, you know? So education is just like that moment of training. And the moment you become a professional will be the section of career. Probably you're asking what, because we have graduated in career, right? Maybe that's the reason. Or I'm just guessing. Was my like explanation clear?
Yes, it was.
Okay, guys, it's pretty simple. Notice that the phrases are very short and very general, but anyway, they are a lot. I'm gonna give you 6 minutes, okay, for you to organize, and then we're going to see how you organize the live events in the corresponding bubbles. 6 minutes starting now. Let's begin. Well, guys, time's up. We started with the first part of our lesson today, talking about vocabulary related to life events. Of course, there are different things about our lives. Let's see. And the idea was to, let's say, categorize all these phrases based on 4 different titles. So, Mayra Pinson, tell me which ones did you include in love and relationships, please?
Just one, fall in love.
Only fall in love, okay. That belongs to that one. But there are 1, 2, and 3 actually that we can include. I'm going to ask Ana Maria Velasco.
I would fall in love,
Mhm.
get engaged, and get married.
Get engaged, get married. There is one more to be included.
I don't know if rent or buy a house, maybe in some cases.
Not
Get-
really.
Get divorced.
Get divorced. Well, we all were looking for the positive ones, fall in love, get engaged, get married, but that also belongs to that category. Get divorced. Very good.
How about have a children?
Have children will be for home and family, I dare to say. Yeah, and this one is more
Get
like,
engaged.
again?
Get engaged.
But that was also said before in love and family. So in conclusion, we have get divorced, fall in love, get engaged, and get married. Those were the 4 ones for that first category. Anderson, what do you have for education? Well, I dare to say that graduate should go there as well. But
Okay, I go to university, leave school, pass your exams, and start school.
That's it. Absolutely. Let's go to home and family. Andrea Vaca.
Bring up your children,
Mhm,
rent or buy a house, have children,
mhm.
leave home,
Yes.
or move house.
And move house. Very good. So, Andres, which are the ones left for career?
Me?
Yeah, Andres Alvarez. Sorry, you didn't say your last name.
Okay, I put get a promotion, make a lot of money, change job,
Yes.
get a job, lose your job,
Lose.
and quit your job.
Quit.
Quit your job.
Yes. There is one more.
Retire.
And retire. Very good, guys. Of course, there are different categories, more categories if we want to talk about our lives. Let's have a look at this next part. I'm going to skip the first one. I want to ask you from the second one. Alguien que está intentando ingresar, pero no puede. This one, I'm not going to ask you. I want to know about, sorry, the second one. In this case, guys, to be organized, if you want to share your answer, please raise your hand in here, okay? Because if we have a lot of voices at the same time, it gets complicated. And of course, the idea is that you share your opinion. So guys, from the list, the different, let's say 4 lists that we just got, which have you done? Which of you guys would like to share your opinion? Remember, raise your hand so we keep it organized. Talking about, remember, well, what you want to share, of course, I don't want you to feel like I'm invading your personal life, the ones that you want to share. Yes, Andres, thank you.
Okay, for the first category, love and relationships, my order was will be get engaged,
Okay.
get married, fall in love, and get divorced.
You have already done these ones?
What?
I'm asking the second question, not like in which order. I'm asking the next one. So I was going to say, oh my God, have you already lived all those events in your life, Andres? Which is possible, of course.
No.
But I don't know.
I understand the first part of the B.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm asking the second one. Which of these things have you done?
Okay, vale. Sorry.
That's okay. So guys, anyone of you? Yeah, I'm not asking the first one because I dare to say that the chronological order of the events could be kind of obvious. Stephanie, yes, thank you.
Sorry. In the education category,
Mhm.
I go to university.
Mhm.
Leave home too. I don't know. This here.
Okay,
Pass my exams. I
great.
don't know.
Okay, very good. Stephanie, what do you study?
Magister
Master's degree.
in master's degree in engineering chemical
Chemical engineering.
chemical
Oh,
engineering.
great. Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. Very good. Guys, any other that would like to share? Which of these things have you done? Could be about any category. You don't have to be or to get that personal. As I told you, I don't want you to think that you have to tell me like deep details of your life. Jennifer, yes.
Hi, I have gone to university and I got graduated the last year. And now I am studying a master degree program at WIS.
Great. What did you study before, like the graduate program?
I studied chemical engineer too, as Stephanie, and we both are studying a master degree in chemical engineering.
Okay, congratulations, ladies. Nice. Let's move to the next one. It says, which haven't you done? For the moment, that means that it is not going to happen in the future, of course. Which one of you guys would like to share? Which haven't you done?
Teacher, in my case, I haven't get married and I haven't rent a house and I haven't quit my job yet.
Yet, oh my God. You haven't rented a house. And which was the first one, Harold?
Get married.
You haven't gotten. Remember, present
Sorry.
perfect. Well gotten.
Gotten, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Falling in love. Oh, Brian, that happens. What else? What else? Any other of you guys that would like to share the ones that you haven't done yet?
Yeah.
Okay, Celia, what about you?
I'm not yet engaged or married.
I haven't gotten.
I haven't gotten, and I haven't gotten had children.
I haven't had children yet. Ah, yet. Okay. Good. Any other? Two? Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. Guys, the third one. Which of these things are you going or hoping to do in the future? Now, in this case, it's not necessary to use present perfect, as you can imagine. Okay. John, what about you?
So I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house the next year. So that's
Great.
something that I'm gonna do.
Nice, very good. One more, guys, before we move to the next exercise. Any other activity? Any other
Teacher,
activity? Yes, Harold.
in my case, I will be graduate the next year on April.
You will graduate next year. Harold, great. Congrats. What are you studying?
I'm studying chemical engineering.
Okay, this group is from chemical engineering, right? That looks like.
I'm studying chemical engineering too.
Okay. This is the chemical engineering group. Okay, guys, very good.
Engineers.
Andrea also, what did you say, John?
that there are many engineers here.
Very good.
I study business administration. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. That is a good thing, that there is a mix of different groups, you know, in terms of the program. Electrician engineering. Okay. Lawyers as well. Very good. Nice combination of people. That's nice. All of you guys provide a different perspective, and that's just truly awesome. Well, guys, let's continue. Of course, the idea is to have a look at different life events. Also, Gilbert from chemistry. That's like the winner group of the day. Guys, I really hope that you're actually having a look at the book, because on this next part, we have a timeline. Okay? Let me zoom in again. We're talking about Meltem's timeline. And in this case, there are like 9 different events happening in this person's life. The idea is that you're going to read about the timeline, the different events that we have. First, we're going to read the parts of information that we have, and then we're going to listen and complete the gaps. For the moment, we're going to have a look at the events. Some of them are already completed. As you see, the statements are all complete. In other cases, of course, we need to listen to the information in order to recognize, well, which is like the word or the words that we actually need to complete the statements. Let's read the statements that we have in here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Azucena, please. Could you read them? 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't matter that it has this blank space. It's okay.
Yes, teacher. But I need to put a word in the blank space.
No, not yet. Like for the moment, we're just having a look at the information, because then we're going to listen in order to complete the blank spaces.
Okay. The number 3 is.
No, 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
In 1990, I was born. In 1996, I started school. In 1998, I started learning.
And we don't know yet. Thank you. Brian, please read 4, 5, and 6.
4. In 20, I moved to Istanbul with my family. In 2002, my dad gave me my first seats. In 2008, I finished my high school and began studying at the university.
That's it. Very good. What happened in the chat? Okay, yes, Susanna, nice. And now we have 7, 8, and 9. I'm going to ask to read this one. Daniela, please.
Underline. I joined a band called Jerry Kisler.
Okay.
Underline. I met Celine. 2012, I left university and got my first job in my business.
That's it. Very good. Well, guys, let me zoom out if I can, because there are some days that it doesn't want to zoom out. Okay. Remember, guys, that we have here a timeline. There are 9 events, that some events are already completed. And as you already noticed, we actually need information that is going to be presented here on this track. I'm going to move to this part. Well, guys, as I was telling you, I hope that you are actually having a look at the book, because then it will be kind of complicated just to show you like some of the parts. I'm going to try, okay? Taking into account that the first ones are already completed. We're going to listen and we're going to complete the gaps, okay? The idea is to make sure that you follow the line of events, you know, in order to complete the information that is being requested on this part. In each part, maybe you already noticed, but it's like better to be safe than sorry. On each part, you have to complete, could be with one word, or in some cases, it's a number, okay? Of course, as you can see, we're talking about years in general. So one word or a number, no like 3 words and 5 numbers. That's not the point, okay? Guys, do you have any question?
Teacher, sorry, which the page?
This is page 40.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, because if I put it here, then you can't see 3 and 4, and you have to complete 3 and 4. So I'm gonna leave it here. So I really hope that you guys are having a look at the book. We're gonna listen twice, okay? It's pretty simple, you know, the events, as of course you can imagine, are presented chronologically. So I hope that it is not that problematic. Let me share sound and let's begin.
Unit 4, Recording 4.
Okay, so I was born in Ankara in 1990 and I spent my childhood there. I started school, primary school, in 1996. And it was at primary school when I was 8 that I started learning English. I remember my teacher was really strict in class, but we all loved her. I've been learning English ever since because my primary school teacher taught me to love the language, I guess. And then when I was 12, we moved, my family and I, to Istanbul. So that was in 2002. I really didn't want to move, I remember. So my dad had to buy me a guitar when we moved, you know, as a present. And I started having guitar lessons. So what's next? I left high school and started university in 2008, studying business. I was there for 4 years. And in 2011, I met Selim. And we've been going out together since then. And do you want to know if I'm in love? I'm not telling anyone. It's a secret. And after I left university in 2012, I started working for my uncle's import-export business. It's a really nice job, and I get to use my business skills, so that's great. What else can I tell you about my life? Well,
up to this part is the information that we need to complete the timeline. We're gonna listen again.
Unit 4, Recording 4.
Okay, so I was born in Ankara in 1990 and I spent my childhood there. I started school, primary school, in 1996. And it was at primary school when I was 8 that I started learning English. I remember my teacher was really strict in class, but we all loved her. I've been learning English ever since because my primary school teacher taught me to love the language, I guess. And then when I was 12, we moved, my family and I, to Istanbul. So that was in 2002. I really didn't want to move, I remember. So my dad had to buy me a guitar when we moved, you know, as a present. And I started having guitar lessons. So what's next? I left high school and started university in 2008, studying business. I was there for 4 years. And in 2011, I met Selim. And we've been going out together since then. And do you want to know if I'm in love? I'm not telling anyone. It's a secret. And after I left university in 2012, I started working for my uncle's import-export business. It's a really nice job, and I get to use my business skills, so that's...
Well, guys, we have already listened to it twice. Remember, the idea was to complete the blank spaces from the timeline. as I told you, we had to complete with a word or a number, of course, based on the information that we were listening to. Let me ask Diana, what about number 3?
Yes, teacher. In 1998, I started learning English.
Started. Very good. Let's continue with number 4, Harold.
I moved to Istanbul with my family when I was 10.
But notice here the beginning, Harold. The idea was the information is not incorrect, but the idea is to put the number. So, I mean, the number of the year.
So I have to start with the number?
Yeah, like
That's
notice in the previous example, like 1990, 1996. So in this case, the idea was like the year when she moved to Istanbul.
Okay. And 2018, I moved to Istanbul with my family.
But Harold, it can't be 2018 because not in the sequence of the years. And in here, 2018 and then 2002. See?
I got it. Okay. So is the 20s?
Well, you're guessing at this point. But let me ask then, Jennifer, which is the year in here?
It's 2002.
It's 2002. It was that one. Okay, good. Let's have a look at number 5. John, what do you have in that one? John? Okay, it's not here. Joely, what do you have in number 5?
In 2002, my dad gave me my first guitar.
Guitar. Very good. Jordan, what about number 6?
2008, I finished high school and began studying business at university.
That's the one. I finished. Actually, there is something that I'm going to show you about the pronunciation of those ed endings. Precisely, we're going to do that. We're going to have a look at that in a moment. Let's continue with Luisa. What about number 7? What's the year in that one? Luisa Perez. Let's see the chat. Okay, Luisa, don't worry. Sylvia, what do you have in number 7?
Teacher, I really don't listen anything about this band. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I don't have a number.
You don't have the year? Okay,
No.
maybe Stephanie can help us. So
No, teacher. I'm saying I don't listen.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. Gilbert, what about you?
Okay, teacher, I heard that maybe it's 2011, I think, because it's a little bit confusing because she talked about the Jedi Kisler and the date when she met to Salim at the same time. So
Yeah, it's tricky, but it is not 2011. Any possibility that is one raised hand? Yes, Andres. When was it?
It's 2010. 2010, I joined a band called Jedi Kitzler.
Very good. And as Gilbert was saying, in 2011, she met Salim. Judy, what about number 9?
I left university and got my first job in my uncle's business.
Very good. That was in that part. It was a little bit tricky, you know. Anyway, we could see like the line of events all chronologically organized, but in some cases that can be a little bit tricky. Guys, for the next part, I'm going to send you something to the chat. In the meantime, Daniela raised her hand. Tell me, Daniela.
Teacher, which is the answer from 7 and 8?
7 will be 2010 and 8, 2011.
And finally?
The last one, uncle.
Uncle, okay, thank you.
Very good. Yeah. The next activity requires us to use the script of the listening. So I'm going to send the script to the chat. Okay, give me a second while I find it in my many folders. This is session 8. There it is. I'm going to send it to the chat. It is a PDF document. And the instruction says use Meltem's Lifeline and audio script 4.4 on page. If you have the book, that would be 170. But I know that some of you are probably from your cell phones. That is why I sent the PDF document to the chat. The idea that, guys, you're going to use the document in order to, let's say, have the information to complete the sentences that we have in here. Let me share the whole, okay, I'm sharing the whole screen. So this is what you're going to read. You know, it is a very short set of paragraphs, you know. This is the information that you have just listened. Now, in this case, you can see like more details, probably some words of vocabulary that you were listening to, but you know that happens. You're like, I got this part, but there were some words that probably were difficult to understand. That's okay. So now in this part, you have the whole script. Again, but if you are working with the book, you can go to page 170 and it's exactly the same piece of information that you're going to see. Let me go back to the book. Guys, what is going to be the idea? The idea is to complete the sentences, okay? What you're going to pay attention to in this part is the structure of the grammatical, the grammatical structure of all these statements taken from the script that you are going to analyze in a moment. Remember that the other day we were talking about present perfect and we were talking about past simple. Today we're adding a new member to this wonderful family of grammatical tenses. We're talking about present perfect continuous. Okay, so look at the statements and complete them with the information from the script. Okay, guys, did you download the script already?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So guys, well, I know that you have like to analyze information a little bit. I know that you read pretty fast, but anyway, I'm going to give you 7 minutes, okay, to make sure that you actually analyze all the information. Statements number 3, number 7, and number 8. In this case, they depend on the year that we are today, but you will see them. Well, guys, 7 minutes starting now. Joely, señora, tell me. Oh my God.
¿En qué parte está el link? Qué pena.
¿El link?
Sí.
No, envié un PDF, Joely.
Eso, profe. Es que no me sale.
Lo envié al chat. ¿Tú estás desde el celular o desde el computador?
Desde el celular.
Sí, de pronto está cargando el documento, Joely. Voy a... pero que no igual. Bien,
Lo puedo subir a la página, al WhatsApp. No sé si de pronto estás en el WhatsApp.
Excellent. Thank you very much. What idea.
Gracias.
Problem solvers. Very good, guys. Let's begin. Well, guys, time's up. Did you finish?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher, but I have a question.
Sure, Diana, tell me.
The present time for Melhem is 2022.
Yeah, that is why I was telling you like number 3, number 6, and number 7. Well, we had to do the math like up to today.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay,
yeah, it's a valid question, Diana. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mayra, could you read number 1, please, now with the complete information?
She lived in Ankara for 12 years.
That's it. Very good. Let's have a look at the second one. Ana María Velasco.
She's been studying English since she was at primary school.
Okay. Primary school could be one point of reference. Very good. Actually, that works, Anna. Nice. Any other answer, guys, in case that you have something different?
When she was 8.
That is also a good answer. Very good. That was a nice one, Anna. Anderson, what about number 3? Doing the math up to today, no?
3, okay. She's been living in Istanbul for 20 years.
That would be the math. Very good. Let's have a look at number 4, Andrea.
He studied business for 4 years.
That's it. Very good. Andres, what about number 5?
I don't know. I don't finish yet.
You didn't finish?
Didn't finish.
Okay, don't worry, Andres. Let's see if Angelica, you already told me something in the chat. Yeah, I sent the PDF to the chat of this group as, well, you also sent it to your WhatsApp group, which was a really great idea. Entonces, Azucena, what about 5? Let's help Andres. Azucena? Well, Azucena is not here. Brian, 5.
She's been going out with Celine since 2011.
It's 2011? Okay.
Yes, it
Like,
says.
yes, it is.
Teacher, it is.
Very good. What about number 6? Let me ask. Vamos a ver acá el chat. After Brian goes, Daniela.
Teacher, don't say, o sea, es que ella no quería que me tocara eso.
Así es el universo, Daniela, but don't worry, we can do it all together. So.
O sea, es que desde 2000, from 20.
We know that it started in 2012, right?
Exacto.
Okay.
But
so,
don't say more years.
And it's okay, you know, because we know that she started in 2012. So she's been working for her uncle for about, remember that when we say about it, because it's not a precise number, but if she started in 2012 and we currently are in 2022, so what is the period of time that we have in here? How long is it?
10 years?
10 years. Very good, Daniela. That's it. That was the one. So relax, don't worry. Let's have a look at number 7. That is pretty much the same idea. Well, Diana, precisely, you were asking about the math that we had to make in this case. How is number 7?
She's been in the band for about 12 years.
Very good. Let's have a look at number 8. That is for Harold.
Okay, they've played about 20 years.
20 gigs.
Gits. Thank you.
Gigs. Not like G, but like.
Gits.
Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
thank you. And finally, number 9, that goes to Jennifer.
She has been looking for a flat recently, and she thinks that she has finally found one.
Very good. What would be like the, let's say, American English version of a flat?
An apartment?
Very good. Someone said teacher, I guess?
Yes, teacher, I have a question.
Yes, Daniela.
What was? 3 question? What did they answer?
Question number 3?
Yes.
It was 20.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Teacher, I have another question.
Sure, Gilbert, tell me.
So what's the meaning of geeks?
Gigs is a very informal word to talk about presentations.
Concerts.
Yeah, like
Okay.
concerts would be like the, let's say, the formal word. Like we say in Spanish, toque maybe. So that would be like the similar version.
Okay, thank you. Got it.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, something else? Okay. I was telling you that we were adding something else to our wonderful family. I know that we still have pending one of the exercises that we were doing on Friday. On Friday, no, on Wednesday, but it looks like a Monday, but you know what I mean. My idea is to use that exercise on Monday because it's going to be one of the exercises that we're going to use to review the different topics that we were studying today. I was telling you that we are adding, let's say, a new member to our family. And I know that sometimes these topics tend to be, let's say, a little bit demanding. I'm not going to say complicated, of course, but the idea is just to make sure how we can make these different structures. So, as I was telling you, today we're including a new one, which is present perfect continuous. But let's not forget how we create present perfect. First of all, we have been talking about have or has. You already know, depending if it is third person. And then we are talking about the verb in past participle. If you remember on Wednesday, we actually had a really fast Kahoot talking about the verbs in past participle, that in some cases, they are very similar to past simple. In other cases, they change completely. And we have to be very careful on that. I know that you have a really good level, and that happens to all of us. Sometimes we feel really confident that we already know how verbs work. So we don't look for, I don't know, how to write it down. We don't look for the past participle form because for us, it's pretty obvious that it is probably the past simple form. It's better to check if we don't know. If we already know, that is not a problem, right? What is going to be the different one that we are adding to our family? We're talking about present perfect continuous. When we're talking about continuous, everything that is continuous, that means that it has to go with ing. I'm going to make a mini pause. Angelica, I guess that you received a link where you can see the recordings. If you don't know, I'm going to send you an email. Don't worry, okay? Remember, everything that is progressive, that is continuous, is progressive. And when it is progressive, we always need 2 things, the verb to be and the ing. Of course, when we're talking about the negative forms, we have hasn't or haven't. Of course, we also have questions, okay? In case of present perfect, talking about the beginning of the auxiliary. What is going to be the idea of present perfect continuous? We are talking about situations that are in progress, okay? Again, everything that is in progress. But first of all, let's cover the topics of present perfect. First of all, when we're talking about an event that has been completed, when we're talking about verbs that take no time to complete, look at the example. She's just started a new job. That means that it was in a very fast moment. To emphasize that an action that will not be repeated, you've given us some great news. When you listen to news the first time, that's it. If someone is telling you news again, it is not like the first time. It is not great news again. We are already like repeating the information that we already know. And we're talking about things that have been true for a very long time. And probably that is the most common connection to present perfect. Remember what we said the other day? Something that started in the past, but it still has an impact in our present. And of course, when we are talking about stative verbs, that they are connected to our mind or our senses. It is not only for present perfect, but we can't, I mean, and I have to emphasize a lot, we can't use stative verbs in continuous form. Maybe you are wondering, I think, which are the stative verbs when we're talking about like, hate, love, prefer, think, but when we use think as, in my opinion, como un me parece, in those cases, we can't use the verb in a continuous form. In Spanish, it is okay. We can say amando, odiando, pensando, pero como el de yo pienso que, and in Spanish, it's okay. But in English, or you love or you don't love, you hate or you don't hate. That's how it works. So that is why in this case that we're talking about like the simple form, we're talking about present perfect. We can't use it in continuous form. You may be thinking, so what is the point of present perfect continuous? Like it is not enough to use present perfect now that is a continuous form. We want to emphasize how progressive an action has been going on. For example, they've been waiting for hours, or it's been raining since yesterday. The actions still continue happening. They started in the past and we can see the progression in our present. Notice that in this case now we need three components. Of course, the has or have, the been, that is the representative of the verb to be, and of course, the verb with ing. I'm sure that you noticed in the exercise that we were doing that we were using some expressions, two in particular. We were using for and since. No me digan signs, nunca más. For and since. The thing is that we can use for and since in present perfect or present perfect continuous. In general aspects, we can say that for is talking about a period of time, okay? While since is telling us the moment when the action started, okay? We have like those possibilities in those cases. There are other expressions. We have during, we have for, in the last year, in the last month, to talk about the frequency and also like the length of an activity. We can also use recently or lately. We can also use ever or never, in this case, talking about how an action has not been happening, you know, that would be the idea. You may be thinking, how do I know when to use it? Actually, it is more up to you if you want to make sure that the other person or whatever knows, wants to know if the action goes in progress or it wants, or you want to make it look like it is about to get finished. Or if we want to talk about past simple, you know, if you want to make sure that the action is completely finished. The thing is to recognize the three elements that we always need. The have or has, the verb to be, that in this case is being, you know, that is like the representative one, and the verb with ing. I don't know, guys, if you have questions. Probably many. Of course, I'm going to share the material with you. While you think, let me, yes.
I had the module 2 today, and in the part of stative verb.
Stative?
Stative verb. Where we ing, o sea, sí se debió utilizar ing, yo no sé por qué, y estaba correcto, o sea, la marcaba correcto, entonces no entiendo cuándo sí se debe utilizar y cuándo no.
Con verbos de estado no, que creo que era lo que me estabas preguntando por los verbos de estado, ¿cierto?
Sí, pero todos eran verbos de estado, y algunos sí se utilizaban con ing. Yo coloqué, por ejemplo, appearing o seeing, y creo que me los marcó como que estaban bien, entonces yo no sé.
¿Cuál es el ejercicio? ¿Cuál era el que dijiste que, dónde lo viste, el qué?
En el módulo 2, creo que dice así verbos estacionales.
Stative verb. Yeah, because that is one of the main rules. But you know, well, I have to check it first. So you put it in progressive and it showed you that it was correct. That's the point.
Sí, yes.
Okay, that's interesting because, you know, Well, at the end of the day, the things in real life are not that strict. But it is supposed to be like that. Even in present continuous, you are not supposed to say, I am liking whatever thing. You like it or you don't like it. You hate it or you don't hate it, you know? That's the point. But I'm going to have a look at the exercise just to make sure, because that is like, you know, the rule that we have to respect, that we can't use it in progressive forms. To answer your question, you have up to Tuesday, you know? Well, based on the fact that on Tuesday we will be taking the exam, on the first hour you will be taking the written part, and then we will meet for the speaking part. I would suggest you not to wait until Tuesday, sorry. Otherwise, you won't have time, or you would have like to, let's say, be until very late, because then on Wednesday we have to download the information to put it in the Sistema Académico.
Teacher, I have a question.
Tell me.
In the case of the liking or hating or loving it's correct, not?
Well, let's say that it is not that bad. The thing is that if people use it, what can we do, you know? But it is not supposed to be in terms of the grammatical part, because probably we see it on movies, we listen to it on a song or on TV shows, and we get the idea, you know? But it is considered that it shouldn't be progressive because it is a state. But you see, for example, the McDonald's logo, I'm loving it. I mean, but grammatically it's not supposed to be like that. Also, that happens like in literature, probably in poetry, to make it, you know, the rhythm goes well, probably it goes in progressive form. So it exists, we're gonna see it, but it is supposed not to be like that. Probably making a connection with the Spanish. Some people at this point still say hubieron. And we get the idea, you know, we know that in Spanish we have to say oh, but if we listen to hubieron, we know what that means. So it shouldn't be like that, but we know the intention. So that it goes more or less on that same path.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm having a look at the exercise, Angelica, if I'm not mistaken. And well, not all of them are stative. And in the case of appear, that is not a stative one. In this case, it is form of the stative verbs in parentheses. For example, feel can go with ing. It's tan simple. Okay, very good. Yeah, it is a mix, you know, that is why it's not like all of them should go with progressive and not all of them should be simple. But I'm having a look at the exercise. Okay. Yeah, because it's mixed. But anyway, if you want to send me a screenshot of the result that you got, we can analyze it eventually. Well, guys, let's put it into practice because it's already 9:20 and I really want to know some information from you. Before that, I'm going to share my screen again. I was telling you that I had some extra information for you to keep in mind in terms of the pronunciation of ED. Yes, Daniela, remember that I shared with you one link where you have all the materials. Anyway, I'm going to show you that again in a moment. I know that in some cases, let's make a little parenthesis, but in English, of course. I know that there are some cases that we actually think, okay, how can I pronounce this word, especially when it finishes with ed? And in some cases, you may think that, but in this case, it changes, but why it changes like this way? The good thing is that I think it's a good thing. It is like a very specific rule to follow. It's this and no more. No huge amount of exceptions because, well, at the end, it's a language, you know, but 95% of the cases, we can trust this information that I'm sharing with you. The other day, I was telling you that there are some cases that we have to add a syllable, you know, to the pronunciation of the verb with ed in order to recognize that it has actually been conjugated. For example, we have want, and then in the past participle or past simple form, because it's regular, we have wanted, and we have need, and then the past form is needed. Notice, want, and then wanted, need, and then needed. We added another syllable, and then sorry, is when we recognize, let's say, that the person is actually using the verb in that form. But in other cases, we can't add that extra syllable. There are two types of pronunciation. It could be a T or it could be a D. How do we know? Actually, we have to learn by heart, you know, how the verb finishes in order to know if the past is going to sound like a T or a D. For example, we have help, finishes with P. If I'm going to use it in past form, this ED has to sound like a T. So it's going to be helped, no helped, see? Or for example, look, and then we have looked, no looked. Remember, in the only case that it sounds extra syllable is in these cases, when the verb originally finishes with T or D. And the same for the other verbs that we have in here. In other cases, it finishes with D, like call, and then we have called, clean, cleaned. It has to sound like a D. In some cases, it's easier because after the verb, we have a vowel. So we make the connection when the actual word is linking between that T or that D and the vowel. So it's easier to pronounce. But keep in mind, you know, that only in one case we can add the extra syllable. In other cases, we have two possibilities, or T or D. So no more wash it or love it. That doesn't exist anymore in your life, okay? Guys, is the image clear? Do you have any question? I wanted to share with you this the other day.
It's clear.
Okay, this extra information is going to be also in our material drive. Let me refresh your memory. So, of course, this is where we usually work. I share with you this folder that is called materials. So I named them after the pages of the book that we are working on, okay? So unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4. Today I will upload that unit 4 extra material. Then on Monday would be review cycle 1. So we can study the different topics that we have been working on during these 8 days, we're counting today. So you have here access to that. I hope that you remember. Do you need this link again? And maybe you share it in your
Yes,
WhatsApp
teacher,
group?
can you-
Yes, teacher,
can you
please.
say again?
Okay. But in this case, you can only read. You can't make any additions. Puede verlo. Let me send it here. Yeah, I'm pending on uploading, of course, the one about the pronunciation and the one we're using today. And in the one that we're using today, no, here, this is my personal account. Here there are 6 different questions, but of course I'm not going to ask you to answer all these 6 different questions. The idea is that you're going to choose 2. Of course, one in present perfect, simple, and one in present perfect continuous. What is the idea? That you use the tenses, of course, and that you give me extra information. The good thing is that all the questions are information questions. It is, I mean, no way that you only tell me yes and no more, no. The idea that you give me a little bit more of information. Remember that probably you can combine it with other tenses. It is not like only present perfect and that's it. You know that we can make different connections precisely to like enrich the way we express our ideas, as I was telling you at the beginning of the session. Let's begin questions 1, 2, and 3. I don't remember the last person that was reading. Judy, please, could you read it?
How long have you been living in your current home? How many times have you checked your phone today? What is your favorite movie and how many times have you seen it?
That's it. And Gilbert, please, could you read 4, 5, and 6?
Okay, who is your best friend and how often do you see him or her? Who is your favorite singer and how long have you liked him or her? Liked? Okay. What is something you are waiting for and how long have you been waiting for it?
Very good. Thank you, Gilbert. Of course, and I insist a lot in this type of exercises. I don't want you to feel that I'm getting into your personal lives or something like that. Share what you want to share. Okay, that's my point. Because in some cases, some people get, like, they don't like to talk about personal things, and that's fine. Just think of something that you actually want to share, okay? I'm gonna send you the link to the chat as usual. I think that up to this point, you already know the slide that you are usually working on, but anyway, let's make sure that you remember that part. Here it is. Let me know. Remember, there are 6, but you only have to choose 2. 1 and 2. Remember that the idea that you choose one that contains or that is stated in present perfect and one that is in present perfect continuous. The idea, 1 is to use the tenses, of course, and 2, to share extra information that you consider is relevant to enrich what you are, well, explaining or presenting. Well, guys, questions? Let's see.
Teacher, one only in present simple, present perfect, sorry, or in both tenses? Can work in both tenses?
Again? I mean, you have to choose 2 questions. Yes, Anderson. For example, question number 3, what's your favorite movie and how many times have you seen it? If we analyze the statement, it's in present perfect simple, right? Now the idea that you're going to choose one that is talking about progressive. For example, number 6, what is something you are waiting for and how long have you been waiting for it? So one is in present perfect, the other one is in present perfect continuous. The idea that in the answer, you use the tenses and you add extra information. For example, I've been waiting for vacations. Let's put it like that. I think that all of us are waiting for that. Since I started the semester, I'm saying something crazy maybe. The idea that use the tense and give me a little bit more details, to enrich what you are sharing. Yes, Anderson?
Okay, thank you, teacher. Yes, I understood.
Better? Okay, guys, very good. Taking into account that you're going to answer only 2 questions, I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Okay, I think it's a very good amount of time. As usual, then I'm going to start checking your statements. Okay, no problem. Take your time. Guys, I'm going to say this in Spanish. Pilas con las correcciones que ya les he hecho en otros escritos. Hay varias cositas que como que me la vuelvo a encontrar. I know that we are very tired and sometimes we forget. I don't expect you to remember every single detail that I tell you, but let's make sure not to repeat certain mistakes. Careful with spelling, basically, and let's try not to use Spanish, of course. So guys, 10 minutes and then we begin. Let me know if you have any question. Well, guys, time's up. I'm going to start having a look at your sentences. Bueno, puedo asumir que nadie se equivocó de diapositiva. That's all that I'm going to say. Well, Brian hasn't finished. Joely looks like, Joely, you finished already?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let's see. Short and sweet. I have been living in my house since 2 years ago exactly, and I remember because I traveled to Barranquilla that December. Joely, travel in present or in past? Because you said that December como ese diciembre.
Sí, sí,
Okay.
pasó.
Okay, póngale ese de una vez. Number 2, I have checked my phone almost 20 times. I really use my phone when I'm busy. That's the reality. Very good. Let's wait for the adjustment. Entonces sería acá en travel. Y quedó perfecto. Bueno, punto al final además. Let me put the comment immediately. So next week, I know that you have already finished. Ana Maria, you finished?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been living? I have been living here for a year. This is my second Christmas. The last Christmas was crazy. Okay. I can't decide it. What do you mean? ¿No me puedo decidir?
I can choose maybe.
Ah, okay, yeah, the thing is that because of the modal can't, we can't make a transformation on the verb, you know?
Okay.
It remains the same. Can't decide about my favorite, but I think one of my favorite series is Grey's Anatomy, and I have been seeing, la he estado viendo. Look, Anna, I have been seeing it, okay? 3 times since 2015. Very good. Remember, Anna, if we are going to use the progressive one, we have to use ing. Porque me colocaste dos participios, perdón, juntos. Y después del been, ya tiene que ir el progresivo.
Verdad.
And very good. Luisa Fernanda, did you finish already?
Yes, teacher.
Good. I have lived in my current home for 2 years. My family and I moved in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Okay. My favorite singer is Taylor Swift. I have liked her. Ah, me ha gustado. Pero Luisa, have es irregular. Debe ser el cansancio.
Ah, teacher. Yo creo que me equivoqué ahí, si no, no iba a la de ahí. Era solo half.
Ah, ok. Mejor. Since I was 13 years old. I knew her with the song You Belong to Me. She was 18 years old when she released that song. Okay. Very good. Shout out them. Good job. 8 minutes left. Mayra, did you finish?
Yes.
Okay, let's see your statements. I have been living here in my home. Sería for about, para hablar del periodo de tiempo, 10 years with my parents and my brother. We have stayed in Bucaramanga since 2012. Very good. I think I have checked my phone almost every 15 minutes because I've been seeing my social medias and email. Very good. Nothing else to say, Mayra. Ahí va saliendo. Good job. Number 6 is not here. Susana, did you finish? Susana.
I am here, teacher. Yes, I finished.
Okay, very good. Let's analyze your statements. Well, we can use contraction. It's good. Este verbo es cuando uno se está yendo de un lugar. Y como la idea es usar el progresivo, tenemos que colocarle verbo to be obligado. Es una regla independientemente si es en presente, en pasado, en futuro. Y el representante acá del be es been. Entonces, I've been living in this house since July and it's perfect for me because it's near to everywhere in the city, next to Cabecera and Sotomayor. I've seen the Harry Potter movies at least 10 times. I love it. Because we're talking about more than one movie, Azucena, let's say I love them.
Yeah.
And I could see them many more times in the future. Yeah, because we're talking about all 7 movies, right?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Welcome, thank you. Let's continue. Let's see how many I can check tonight. Andrea, did you finish already?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. I have been living in my home for 12 years with my family. My parents have lived in the same city for many years. My father has working, ¿qué le falta, Andrea, para que sea progresivo en ese pedacito? Yes, so nice. Entonces, has been working hard for, no, working too. When we say to, is the reason why. For would be who receives. It's different if you say, my father has been working hard for our stability, for example, like you are receiving the action, in this case from your father. But if we say he's working hard to get blah, 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 you're giving the reason why he's doing that, in this case, action, okay? Because both possibilities are correct depending on the information that comes after that. And our house, and now me and my siblings enjoy this place. Very good. I have seen my phone almost every 20 minutes on my days. I have been seeing the social media and videos on the internet. Very good. 5 minutes before we finish. Yes, clear, 5 minutes. Good job. Friday. Harold, did you finish already?
Yes, teacher, I did.
Okay. I have checked my phone at least 20 times today. I have been receiving a lot of messages from my family because my new cousin was born. That's great. In fact, I don't have a favorite movie, but I can say they have watched Harry Potter a lot of times. I have been thinking if I have to watch them again. Okay. That's good. Let's continue with Anderson. Anderson, have you finished?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. My favorite movie is without doubt. My favorite movie is without doubt Nocturnal Animals. Without is. I don't know very exactly how many times I've. So is the past simple, Anderson. I've seen it. But I'm sure that is Mora. More than 5 sin el tú. Ese es muy español, más de. In English, we don't need it. I like its story because the plot here is very difficult to understand, even in the final. Even in the final, en el final, I guess, in the final part. Final, it's an adjective. We need to put something like to accompany. You don't see the stuff very clear because in the end of the movie, you aren't sure if the protagonist imagine told. That's nice. I've been waiting for my graduation in the specialization in pedagogy around 10 months. Décimo? ¿Mes 10 o décimo mes, Andrés? Anderson, sorry. Bueno, sí. So you want to say 10 o décimo?
Yes.
10, ok, around. Entonces sería around month 10. Si fuera mes décimo, sí sería 10th con el ordinal. Entonces, para que la cambien de puesto. And I am very excited about that. When we say excited is how we feel. Siempre es como uno se siente. ING es una descripción. For example, the movie is interesting. The person is annoying. Pero si es como yo me estoy sintiendo, es con ED. Si es de pronto una característica, una descripción que se pueda asignar a mi persona, por decirlo de alguna manera, sí sería con ING. Ya que estás diciendo que te sientes emocionado. Como es sentimientos, es ED. I have never. Entonces nunca me he sentido. So happy for an event as this. Actually, it's not as, it's like. Como, que vendría siendo, el like aquí viene siendo el como de un ejemplo comparando. It means so much for me and for my goals. Great, thank you. Let me copy and paste it, Stephanie, porque se va al chat y se va todo. Stephanie, ¿cuál es su diapositiva? Number 10.
Sit.
Again? 6?
Sit, yes, sit.
Okay, let's put it there. Pues, like I say, you still have time to check one more. Anderson, make sure that you keep in mind the comments that I made. I'm gonna put good job because it was good, but be careful with those teeny tiny things. I guess I can check Andres Alvarez. Did you finish already?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. I've been living in my current home since 2018 because it's a beautiful and large apartment. Also, we have everything close to us and that is great. I don't have a favorite movie, but I like. I like in generally, but generally I like. ¿Listo? Action movies. I've seen Transformers and Fast and Furious Saga many times. También lo he puesto una vez, Andrés. Listo, guys. Well, very good. As usual, I have pending to check the other statements. That means from, well, slide number 6, that it's Stephanie's, and from slide number 12. Well, guys, remember that the ideas I was telling you some seconds ago, I was telling Andres, keep in mind like those mini comments. There are some things that we have already so fixed, you know, in our mind that we keep on repeating because that's how we learn. And then we have to unlearn those things in order to make those corrections. Well, guys, for next Monday, we're going to have like a general review of the 4 units that we have been studying during this whole cycle. And then on Tuesday, we're going to meet again, in this case for the speaking part. Remember, guys, that on the chat, I already shared the link of the folder that takes you to the materials that we use in our session. I already included the one of today, you know, and also the extra information for the ED pronunciation. There is also one exercise that I invite you to do it. I included the answer key. The idea that if you have the time, of course, and if you want it, you do the exercise and then you compare your answers with the answer key. It is about your honesty, you know, because what is the point of giving you an exercise and you don't know if your answers are correct or not? It is more like a self, you know, exercise. It is not going to have a grade. It is just for you to practice. Guys, I would like to know if you have any question.
No.
Guys, as usual, thank you very much. I would really hope that you have a nice weekend and see you on Monday. We are going to finish our cycle next week. So keep on working as great as usual. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher. Bye, teacher. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
You too, guys. Take care, everybody.